Welcome, welcome to the live June numerology forecast. I'm excited to be here and ready to share with you all of the incredible themes for June, which include relationships, again, as a focus, clearing, healing the past, and choosing what you want in the present and going forward. That's going to be a big theme. Clearing and maintaining a high vibration personal resonance field and emotional and mental mastery, healthy energetic boundaries, rebalancing your energy using meditation and self care practices, releasing old traumas, you're responsible for your triggers, and heightened psychic awareness, trusting yourself and your intuition once again, trust and letting go of control, being the change you wish to see. And while we're waiting for everyone to come into the live, for those of you who may not know me, I am Kristen Vallis. I am an advanced Egyptian numerologist, channel, and conscious impact coach who guides speakers, writers, and creatives from feeling stuck, unworthy, and anxious to confidently free their voice and creative expression to experience impact, fulfillment, peace, and joy in their lives. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel for empowering information that will enable you to raise your vibration and belief in your infinite potential, which is a big theme for this month. And if you're watching on Facebook, please let me know you're here live and join in the conversation. Hello, Helen. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Anyone else joining live, please let me know that you're here. Let me know, how have you been experiencing the eclipse season? I know for me it was pretty rough. And the month of June, or the month of May and the month of April were challenging, very challenging for a lot of people. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you. And so I'm looking forward to June. We are going to get a month of integration and healing, some time to catch our breath a little bit. You felt better today. You felt the energy shift. So, yeah, definitely. So, we're going to talk about some of these themes that are coming up for June. And the themes I want to make mention, I pulled specifically for the people who are watching this live forecast. So, wanted to let you know that if you do see forecasts from other numerologists and all that, they may vary. Well, they would anyway, just based on our own personal interpretations, but also because I have actually asked my guides to come through specifically for the people watching this particular forecast, so that this is very highly personalized for you as much as possible with a group experience. So whether you're watching live or on the replay, this forecast has been modified specifically for you for the month of June 2023. So June this year is a 4 energy month. And in the 4 energy month, the high expression of the 4 comes in with that intuitive and psychic awareness. So that's going to be really key this month. The 4 also represents leadership. It represents hope, which will be nice to experience after what we've just gone through. Organization, foundation, structure, productivity, opportunities, cleverness, yeah, cleverness. I'm making up words now. Contractual commitment, practical, physically motivated, because 4 is a physical plane number, drawn to nature, completing tasks, furthering plans, management, strength, stability, safety, satisfaction, and group experiences. Do any of those words sound good after what we've just been through? Like, it has felt so chaotic and so like just confusing all over the place, just so much of that going on, that this 4 is a very welcome energy, I think, for many of us. So the universe is always kind in that when it does deliver some big whomps of change like we've just experienced, it does give us some time to integrate the changes. And that is part of the divine timing cycle that we move through as we experience true transformation. So the universe is giving us an opportunity to regroup before we move into August, where we're going to be in another bit of crazy energy, but we get some time to regroup this month, which I think will be really good. Let me know in the comments if that sounds good to you. Hello. Wow. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Joe. Good to see you. Helen's excited about the new energy coming in. I'm so glad. So I am too. And the low expression of the four, though, can also rear its head. If you're, tapping into that, I encourage you to try and shift into some of the higher expression that I just read off. But the low expression could be fear, hoarding, feeling discouraged or unfulfilled, waiting and wanting. So, basically waiting to be rescued, right? Dissatisfied, exhausted, trapped, tedious, mundane, avoidant, unsteady, vulnerable, and chaotic. So some of those things could be coming up if you're leaning more into the lower expression of that four energy. And if you notice that about yourself, just catch it. Ask yourself to create the awareness around it and catch it so that you can shift into that higher state of the four, because there's so many blessings available to us for a couple of reasons. One is that the four energy by nature is a Jupiter number. So Jupiter is the planet of blessings, and we can tap into all of that through the four. So this is the good news with this energy this month. We do have Jupiter protecting us. We also have Jupiter protecting us for another reason, which I'll go into in just a few minutes. So June is also the 6th month of the year. And so the 6 will be playing an active role this month as well, because it shows up in the daily date. And the high expression of the 6 is intuition again. So you see the theme of the intuition and psychic ability being very heightened again this month. Creativity, family, friends, expression, artistic, loving, speaking, writing, sharing, intimacy, collaboration, wittiness, decorative, designing, attention to details. I kind of think of the 6 as kind of a Venus energy in a lot of ways. Reminiscent, preparing for the new, recovery and integration, which I just spoke about, we'll be doing this month. Anticipation, excitement, trust, victory, completions, rewards, activating transformation, and karmic balance. I'm just going to see if, yes, I do have my water. Okay. One moment while I sip, and just let me know, you guys, how is this sounding to you so far? Much better. I've already been talking for over an hour, so I was on a coaching call right before this. Low expression of the 6 is attachment, greed, and debauchery, betrayal, dependence, materialistic, anxious, wallowing, victimhood, sorrowful, emotionally unstable, cruel to self and others, and karmic debt. So the 6 is a karmic number. So we can either experience the high side of that karmic payoff, or we can experience the low side of karmic debt and your karmic return, right? Either way, you're getting a karmic return with the 6, but it just depends what you've been doing up to this point, what kind of return you're going to get. So leaning more into that higher expression of that. And then also just to be mindful with the 6 being a karmic number, what you do this month matters very much too. So, but that's really true every month. It's just that you'll see the effects of it quicker when you're in a karmic energy. So you'll see that very quickly this month. So if you're producing good karma for yourself, you could turn things around if things haven't been going as well as you would like. And if you are not in integrity, then things will show up to show you that, and you'll feel it. So that's kind of how that 6 works. So today is June 1st, and the month begins on a 3 of Spades energy day with a 5 energy as the daily energy and the 9 of Hearts. So the month ends on a King of Hearts, 2 of Hearts, 7 energy day, and that will be a Saturn day. Today's a Jupiter day, and I'm speaking to the collective when I say those things. So what does this energy mean? Well, the 3 of Spades is asking us to create for a higher purpose. That 9 of Hearts wants us to do it for the good of humanity, for the greater good, for the sake of love, right? And so that's coming through. That 5 wants us to have fun while we're doing it, as does the 3. right? It wants us to enjoy what we're doing. It wants us to take pleasure in what we're doing. And the 5 is also asking us to be in integrity with who we are and what our purpose is. So we're feeling that a lot today. We're feeling the shift in the energy. It's definitely a shift from where we were. Although we had the 3 and the 5 all last month, so I think we'll be feeling the shift even more tomorrow. But I already felt the shift today. Feeling that 4 energy coming in, feeling that 6. They want to bring in some stability. They want to bring in some balance. And so that is a very welcome energy after what we've just been through. We're also coming into the month on a Jupiter day. So um, Jupiter is going to play a big role this month, which is really beautiful. Jupiter is the planet of blessings, and I think we can all use some of those right now. So we begin the month with a full moon almost right out of the gate on June 3rd. So that's coming up in just 2 more days. 13 degrees of Sagittarius, 8:43 p.m. Why is that important? Because it is in the evening. So even though it's on an Ace of Spades, 7 of Hearts, 7 energy Uranus day, because it's at night, it will gain momentum from the 8 energy coming in for the following day. So this full moon is going to have some longevity to it, some lasting power. It's also because it occurs on a Uranus day, we're going to experience the unexpected most likely. Something will happen that you're not expecting, something coming to an ending, something being cut away. Because of that 7, double 7 energy influence there, I think there will be some sort of big thing being cut away. It's ultimately for your good because that Ace of Spades is saying like spiritual transformation. And so, and Uranus is a day of reflection. It's of grace. It's of the willingness to accept and expect the best. And the 7s are calling us higher. They're calling us into that spiritual limitlessness. And so whatever is coming to an ending, it's because it's making space for the new to come in. That Ace is new. It's newness. There's something new coming in that's transformative, that's going to change your life. I know we've had a lot of that energy already coming out of eclipse season and Mercury retrograde, but this month is helping us to integrate all that. And this full moon comes in to kind of wrap all of that up into, I want to say, kind of a neat package, but Uranus is kind of unpredictable, so I don't know how neat the package is going to be. But it's coming in to complete some things for us, to help us release any leftover attachments to anything that's not serving us from the lessons that have come up in the past month and a half to 2 months. And this is good news. This is going to be really helpful to us, although probably emotional. So you can expect that. It's also, Uranus can bring in some pretty heavy mental energy as well. So, just knowing that and taking time to meditate, to journal, to be out in nature with those 7s. I would definitely be outside on Saturday if you can. And Sagittarius calls us into hope. It's a very hopeful sign. It's definitely spiritual explorer sign. And so it goes right along with this energy of the day, really kind of all coming together. And like I said, I think it's really, this full moon is calling us to a new, higher spiritual heights through the release and cutting away of attachments to the physical world and to people. We'll be feeling very reflective and yet also called to take action because those 7s do require action. Expect the unexpected and expect miracles, and you will create and attract them. This is really a key this month because we're entering Jupiter season early in the month on June 7th, and Jupiter is already traveling with us between now and June 7th because it's in Taurus right now, and it's got a special transit going on in Taurus that's really helping ground in and bestowing great blessings on anyone who believes in limitlessness and infinite possibilities and are open to receiving, feel worthy to receive. So June 7th is a huge day to decide, like, mark your calendars. It's a huge day to decide to be a gracious receiver, to receive blessings in overflow. Many blessings, financial and otherwise, are available if you decide you are worthy and willing to receive big. So it's best to start opening yourself up to this right now using the power of the full moon. This is where you want to clear any of that unworthiness, that self doubt, that, um, like I don't deserve or whatever. Open yourself up, do the forgiveness work, do the full moon rituals, all the releasing so that you can open yourself up to receiving fully on that day, because it is a really powerful day, and it does require you to decide that you're going to do it, to decide you're going to receive. Jupiter season is a time when we are called to examine what we believe and how that impacts the experiences we are creating for ourselves. And this will be a big theme all month. So as we're integrating all these huge changes and life overhauls resulting from Mercury and Pluto retrograde and the eclipse season that just recently completed, this is the theme. We're going to be asked to really look at what our beliefs are and what beliefs we have are serving us and which ones are limiting us. And I think this full moon is going to help clear out a lot of those limiting beliefs as well. So that's something to take advantage of. If there are beliefs that you're aware of that you've been kind of stuck with or whatever, you can do some rituals around that to help release that. Use this full moon power to help you release that. So through the month, we are clearing and healing the past through this integration process that we're going to be going through. And I'd say we get a breather, only kind of, sort of. It is going to feel different. It is going to feel like a bit of a reprieve from the intensity of the past 2 months. But we've still got the 5 and 7 energies bookending the month, which calls for action. It brings change, it brings action, it brings finding better ways to do things. It's, about expanding and living in the unknown, living in belief, and, not having to have the proof before you do it. So it's not time to sit on our hands, but you'll be able to take actions that are more methodical, I guess is the word I want. Methodical, slower and steady will win the race. But you are going to feel the push to take action. So it's not going to be like total rest period, but we will feel the integration happening. We are getting the support we need to integrate all of the changes. So that's a good thing. And Uranus, which both the full and the new moon this month are in Uranus, is a time of integration as well. So it can bring some unexpected things and some changes, but it also brings that integration energy with it. So again, I think this is really going to be a month that's going to help us to stabilize and really absorb like what the F just happened. Because I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of that. And I'd love to hear actually what happened to you during eclipse season. Stephanie, your birthday is Saturday on the full moon. Wow, you got a great one. Mine was on the full moon in April, and it was nuts. And that's your birthday too, Adrian. That's right. Oh my goodness. So yes, yeah. It's a huge time, and so that means that you both are double sevens as well, like I am. So that means your personal year and your collective year and the collective year are the same number for you every year, and I have that too. So I've got the double 7 this year as well. And, it does mean that there's going to be some ruthless cutting away this year for you guys. And anybody born on Saturday, or if you are born on a day that is a 7 energy day this year, that happens to be a 7 energy day, you've got that double 7 going on. It's a bit of a ruthless cutting away of things that aren't serving you. And we're all experiencing it this year because it is the collective energy year as well. But if you've got that magnified because it's also your personal year, there's a lot of clearing and a lot of changes happening because of that clearing. So, and really the emphasis on trusting yourself and your intuition, learning as you go, and being okay with making mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes. Like, there just are things that are what we deem mistakes. I don't believe there are really any mistakes, but it can feel that way as you're learning. So just know that you guys are going to be going through a lot of that this year, and it's all good. It's okay. Your survival rate of 7 energy years is 100% so far. So every time you've had one, you've made it through. You'll make it through this one too, and you'll come out the other side. Hopefully, the goal of this particular year, way more conscious and way more trusting of yourself and your intuition, which is huge. So there is a big benefit to it, but it does not come without its challenges. So, okay, so back to where were we here? So we've also got 2 more planets heading into retrograde this month. So I did want to make point of that too, because Saturn moves retrograde on the 17th, which is also the new moon. And Neptune moves retrograde on the 30th, and Pluto remains in retrograde. So even though Mercury retrograde is over, we're moving into the annual retrograde season where we have more of the outer planets and bigger planets moving retrograde, and we're being called to go back over old ground in certain areas of our lives depending on which planets they are. And so just seeing that these retrogrades are coming in, things are going to become naturally more reflective again in terms of revisiting our past, reworking things, releasing things, healing things, letting go of old belief systems that aren't serving. All of that is coming up as we move into the annual retrograde season. So the new moon coming up on the 17th of the month is in Gemini, 26 degrees at 9:39 p.m. That is a King of Clubs, Jack of Diamonds, 3 energy Uranus day. So what does that all mean? Well, it means the energy is amplified with the 3, but there's also momentum because that 26 degrees adds up to an 8. So this is also going to be a big moon for us. Both moons have that 8 energy influence, which means that it has longevity, it has staying power, it has momentum. So be mindful to choose your thoughts and beliefs wisely. This is a great day on the new moon to speak your big message into the world, create and or announce a new program or offering or venture that you have to share with the world to make it a better place, because it's in Uranus. So Uranus is consumed with the common good, the good for all, the collective good, because Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, which is all about the collective, the group, the whole, the community, right? So this is all about how can we make the world a better place? What is your big message around that? Do you have something to offer that you'd like to share with the world that you can bring forth? This would be an excellent day to introduce that, or to create it if you haven't created it already. So that'll give you some ideas for advance notice on that, because that will be a really powerful day. We also have summer, or depending on where you live in the world, winter solstice on June 21st. That's at 7:57 a.m., so that's in the morning. So it's really going to encompass the day of June 21st, the energy of that day, which is a 9 of clubs, 9 of spades, 7 energy day. And that is on a Wednesday, so that would be our collective Mars day. So this is a day of really calling us into a huge release of all that isn't serving because of those 9s and the 7. Really letting go of all that isn't serving in every area of our lives, to take responsibility because of the Mars, to take responsibility for our thinking with that 9 of clubs, and also the 7 can bring in stinking thinking. So, really taking responsibility for our thinking, looking at the big picture, because those 9s in the high side are visionaries. They look at the big picture and expanding our belief in our own limitless potential. So it's a great day to tap into the bigger picture of, what do I want to create for the next 6 months between this solstice and the one in December? What do I want to bring forth by December? And really tap into that. Really dream big. Really dive into the imagination of it and how you would feel when you achieve it and all of that. If you brain game, using your brain game tools like the ideal day visualization and other tools that we have to really tap into what do I want to create here for the next 6 months, because this is your opportunity. And so with that new moon, and then you also have the summer solstice energy really helping to catapult our lives forward and higher into new heights. These numbers are very spiritual, so they're asking us to focus on the spiritual plane, to focus on what we can create to through tapping into our higher self and through source and through our abilities as conscious creators. And that Mars energy is really asking you to take responsibility for your role as a conscious creator and own that you get to create your experiences, that you're not a victim to them. Now, one thing to note about this day with all that 9 energy, there could be some anxiety cropping up for people. So whether you feel that or not, other people might be. It's something to be aware of and sensitive to. And it could be a highly emotional day as well with all that releasing energy going on. So just noticing that if it's not coming up for you, if you're really tapped into that higher visionary energy, awesome, and to be sensitive to others. The 9s call us into service for the common good, for the collective good. So if you're in the high side of the energy, how can you be of service to those that might be struggling a little bit on that day? So that's available to you to tap into. And I just want to check in with you guys and see oh, hello, Lori. Good to see you. Stephanie, oh my God, you said it so crazy. What did I say? I don't remember what that was that I said that you're commenting on. But yeah, let me know in the comments, how is this landing with all of you guys? How does this feel? How are you feeling now? Did you go through any huge changes during the eclipse season? I want to know. I want to know what you're experiencing and how this is all landing with you. And if you have questions about the energy this month or want to tap into anything, because, there's a lot going on this month with all the planetary movement, and also just I'm looking down at the calendar that I drew all the pictures on. I'll show you some of the madness that I do. Like, I draw all over the calendar and mark things. But we have this reflection energy pretty heavy this month, but there is also some forward movement, especially in the first 2.5 weeks of the month until we reach that new moon. And even with that new moon and the solstice energy, there's a lot of reflection going on because there's more planets moving retrograde at that time. But we are still moving our lives forward. If you really think about it, even when you're reflecting and clearing things from the past, that is moving you forward. That's making space to move forward and create the new. And so, I love that new moon for introducing something new that will help the collective good, that will somehow benefit humanity or the planet in some way, or the animals or something. So I really love that energy. And the other day that I wanted to note was June 6th, because that is the 6th month of the 6th year, the 6th day of the 6th month. And so that's always a pretty powerful day, and it is a 1 energy day that day. It's also a Jack of Diamonds, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy that day around where it's also the last day of our collective Mars season. So it's really about taking responsibility for our role as a conscious creator, and also just owning our worth, and there's this one theme, this initiation energy into a higher realm around our value and around what we value. So that's going to be a significant day as well, but I would say that'll prepare you for that next day that I highlighted as June 7th being such a huge day. For that to be the beginning of our Jupiter season, and also to be a 10 of Diamonds 2 energy day, I really feel like that is the day to focus on heavily in this first part of the month, aside from the full moon, of course. But that first full week in June, um, that 6-6 day is almost like preparing you. It's preparing you for that next day to really be willing to receive. So use that day to your advantage because it is landing on a Tuesday this month, which is our collective Venus. If you have anything left after the full moon that you still need to forgive and let go of, any resentments, anything that might be holding you back from feeling worthy to receive on the 7th, use that day on the 6th to really clear that stuff. Make the time to do it. You will be so glad you did. It will totally change your experience of the 7th, which will change your whole experience of the next 52 days or maybe even the next 6 months. So it really, I can't stress enough how powerful this energy is that's coming in. It's really huge. So let's see. Lori, likewise, so happy to be here. Yay! Wanda says my daughter turns 13 on June 7th. Oh, how exciting. So she's a 10 of diamonds. Wow. Yeah, I have a couple of 10 of diamonds in my life, and actually quite a few if I count people that I know just around. There's a lot of them because it's a big part of my chart. So I'm very familiar with that card, and that is very exciting. Oh, that was your grandfather's birthday. It's my uncle's birthday too. So, and he turns 90 this year. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so it's a big day. It's a big day. Every year that starts our Jupiter season collectively. And it's not always a 2 energy day though. So there are some differences that come in, and it also doesn't always land on a Wednesday. So there's different influences that come in that change the experience of it each year. But this is definitely a time to choose to be that receiver and choose to be in gratitude. Be a grateful and gracious receiver, not just a receiver of what can you give me, what can I get, but will you receive it with humility and gratitude. Humility doesn't mean there's a big difference between being humble and being not worthy. Humility knows that you know you're worthy, and yet it's not, it doesn't feel what is the word I'm looking for, it's not entitlement. It's not entitlement. So even though we are entitled to have it all as conscious creators, as spiritual beings, we don't walk around with the chip on our shoulder of that negative connotation of entitlement, right? We are humble and we graciously receive and we gratefully receive and we practice gratitude in our receiving. So that's the way to open yourself up to truly receive. Oh, she pulled the 10 of diamonds for you today. That's awesome. I love that, Lori. Everything's landing, major shifts coming back to you more, cleaning out so many things in your home, your life, in your energy. Yeah. A lot of stuff shifting for me too. You can tell by my background, I'm not even living in the same place I used to. So a lot of stuff shifting for me. And that's all good. It's all, moving us forward and upward. So trusting that even if things don't look quite the way you thought they would or want them to right now, trust that you are moving forward and you're moving higher. So I know a lot of you guys listen in and you're not able to type comments, which is a bummer, but if you can, I'd love to hear from you. And that kind of wraps up what I want to say about the forecast right now, because I think, if I tell you too much and too many details, it gets to be a little overwhelming. And I know I've done really long forecasts in the past. My goal was to make it a little bit shorter and more palatable, and then we can dive into more specifics as the month goes on. Next week, same time, I am going to be doing an intensive on Jupiter season so that you can learn how to really understand what Jupiter season is all about and how to leverage the blessings, how to activate the blessings. So if that's something of interest to you, that will be a paid event, but very low cost. Watch for the invite for that, and that will be on Zoom, so that if you're even watching on YouTube and you don't do Facebook or whatever, you'll be able to participate. that will be available to you. We're going to deep dive into Jupiter and Jupiter season and what to do with that, and how to leverage it so you can get it to work for you and really receive the blessings that are on offer during Jupiter. So, but this is, I did want to mention a little bit deeper. I did mention families and stuff. There's a reason why people go on vacation in June, aside from the fact that school's out. There's a reason school's out now, too. It's time. It's time to spend time with your family. It's time to spend time with your friends. It's time to, there'll be a lot of that going on this month. It's part of the energy for this year, but also for this month this year. But also, just every June has a little bit of that quality to it. But because this year is a 4 energy month, there'll be even more of that desire to be in groups and in with family and all of that. And you may travel, you may not, but it's going to be, it's just that gathering energy is there. Also, I mentioned that relationships are going to be a big theme. There's, going to be a lot of karmic clearing going on still with that 6 karma energy. There's going to be some clearing out of toxicity in your relationships, whether it clears the entire relationship or just clears up some stuff that's been going on that needs to shift. There will be that happening. So some people may be leaving your experience, some people may be coming in, and or you will be transforming your current relationships in some way because of clearing out some old toxicity. You could be clearing generational stuff because of the karmic nature of the 6 and the contractual nature of the 4. So that means breaking those karmic contracts, those karmic bonds, and that can be past life stuff. So there can be some of that coming up, and I did want to mention that because in the very, very beginning, and some of you missed that, I said relationships are again a focus as a theme this month. And choosing what you want in the present and going forward, healing and clearing the past, and then clearing and maintaining a high vibration personal resonance field. Okay, so this means that if you're around toxic people all the time, you're going to want to clear that, and you're going to want to re-examine, do you want to keep hanging out with those people? And it can get tricky if they're people that are either family or coworkers or whatever. You're going to be examining all of that, and you're going to be examining your perception of it and your beliefs around it, because we will be influenced by Jupiter. So sometimes just shifting your own perspective and beliefs can be enough to make a big shift around all that and shift the dynamics of your relationship. Sometimes you'll find that you want to move on, to clear some of those toxic people out of your world. It just depends on the situation. It depends on your personal journey and your contracts with those people. Emotional and mental mastery are going to help you a lot with this. If you need help with that, and be honest with yourself, if you need help with that, let me know. Message me, hit me up, because this is something I excel at helping people with. And holding healthy energetic boundaries. So if you define yourself as an empath, then this is going to be a month where you're really going to be asked to create new structure, new healthier boundaries for yourself energetically, because that is your responsibility and no one else's. So, really maintaining that and keeping your energy states clear, and learning how to navigate the energies without blocking them out, because if you're an empath, that doesn't work. You're not here to block things out or protect yourself from energies. You're here to learn how to move them through so you don't have to hold on to them. And I think that's a big confusion for empathic people, especially those who haven't had anyone to really teach them what it means to be an empath, and how it is possible to allow those energies to move through you and not hold on to them and not have to carry them with you, making you sick, making you miserable, tired, whatever, affecting you. You do not have to do that, and yet you do not need to be protected either. You just need to learn how to move them through. So that's something else that I help people learn how to do. Um, and then, rebalancing your energy using meditation, self care practices, tapping into grounding and spiritual practices again this month, huge. Um, Releasing old traumas and collapsing your triggers. You're responsible for all of your triggers, no one else. So if you're getting triggered by something, then this is your time to learn how to collapse them yourself and take responsibility for them and turn them into synchronicities. And then trusting yourself and your intuition, letting go of control, surrendering and allowing your true self to come through, and staying on purpose and expecting miracles and being the change you wish to see through daily action to create the ripple effect. So those were the themes that I went over in the beginning, and that is really honed to this particular group that's watching this forecast. So hopefully that helps to you guys. Let's see, we've got Helen says you're going to Vietnam next week for 2 weeks, then to Bali. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd be looking forward to that too. And Rosalie says, hi, good to see you. Thank you guys all so much for joining and for commenting. And even if you're watching on the replay on Facebook or YouTube, please do leave comments. Let me know how this resonated with you. And if you need help navigating any of this, please reach out. I'm available for readings and I am available for coaching so I can help you through and navigate some of these integrations, shifts, changes, all of the stuff that's going on. So I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our deep dive into Jupiter. Watch for that invitation or message me for more information, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.